Coming up on this edition of Hawkeye News.
In a follow-up to last month's construction update around Red Oak High School, we'll show you an inside look at the wonderful renovations being completed on the West Campus gym, plus some additional information on one more new addition to our city.
Also, Hawkeye News checks back in with our wonderful counselor's office to see what students need to know in this segment we call Counselor's Corner.
Plus, after several months off from our segment Where Are They Now?, we decided to take a look at many familiar faces instead of just one who graduated from Red Oak High School. You'll see who's back in the nest around Red Oak ISD.
Later, Hawkeye News reporter J.D. Foster will bring us highlights from the basketball halftime shooting contest held recently. We'll see how some lucky fan participated in a shot from half court to win a brand new vehicle. And finally, in one of the biggest events of the year, the Project Success Stark Education Program once again put on a night of laughs at the annual Mr. and Mrs. Red Oak pageant. We have highlights from the event, all coming up next on this edition of Hawkeye News.
You're watching Hawkeye News with Rachel Selvey and Christian Henson. Sports with Brady Sapp. News coverage from the Junior High Bureau with Katie Stanglin. Plus, academic and student life reports with our Hawkeye News team. Hawkeye News, leadership you can depend on.
Welcome to this edition of Hawkeye News for February 2004. I'm Rachel Selvey.
And I'm Christian Henson. With winter coming to its final stages, we start to think about fun things such as spring break and outdoor sports.
That's right, and with that comes warmer temperatures. Things are beginning to heat up as we take a look ahead with our wonderful counselors as they get us ready for the final academic push of the year.
Plus, as all of you know, one of the biggest events of the year, the Mr. and Mrs. Red Oak pageant, was held earlier this month. A lot of campaigning and school spirit was shown throughout the district, including pep rallies. Let's take a look at all the craziness this pageant has stirred up.
Later in our show, we'll take a look back at the Night of Laughs as we bring you highlights from the pageant and reveal this year's Mr. and Mrs. Red Oak 2004, a story you'll only see here on Hawkeye News.
Hawkeye News is all over Red Oak ISD with more news, sports, and information as we begin with this month's top stories.